In this video, we're going to show you how you can use a GeneratePress Starter Site and custom post types using advanced custom fields to set up an adoption database for pets looking for homes. Let's get started. First, you want to make sure you are starting on a blank WordPress site. And we'll take a look at the plugins that we have installed here. And you can see that our installed plugins include advanced custom fields. We're just using the free version. GenerateBlocks, GenerateBlocks Pro, GeneratePress Premium, and a couple of other things on a test site. And for our theme, we ensure that we have GeneratePress installed and that we have our premium updates. To get the starter site going, we need to go to the site library and click Activate. Next, we'll open the site library and we're going to find our Rescue Starter Site and get started with installing this. Just click Get Started. It'll gather the information, and if you do not have these plugins installed, it will install them for you. You can click I understand, begin import, and soon you will have your site ready to go. Once your starter site is installed, you can click View Site and it'll take you to the front end of your site. This is a great starter site for any humane society or pet rescue that wants to get some pets adopted, but we do not have anything available where we can show our pets. So we're going to add that using custom post types using advanced custom fields. Let's look at how we do that. Go to our dashboard and we have advanced custom fields installed. First, we need to set up the post type. So we click here and we click Add New. We are going to call this Adoptable Pets. Under Advanced Configuration, we are going to make sure that we are not using the editor, but that we are going to be using title, featured image, and that we have custom fields set up. That's all you need to do. Click Save Changes. And now you have Adoptable Pets set up over here, but we need to add our field groups. You can go ahead and click Add Fields here, and we're just going to add some simple fields to describe the pets that we have available. First, we want to add the pet breed, and that's going to be a text field. Next, we are going to add the pet age, and we're going to leave that as a text field rather than numeric. We're going to add another field for their gender. We would like to have gender be a select field as well because there's only going to be 2 genders available. So we are going to add male and female. Then we are going to add a select for their status. So we're going to have a select box here and we're going to have their status and are going to be available, pending, and not available. Then we want to have a description box, and that is going to leverage the WYSIWYG editor, which is helpful if you need to bold anything, italicize things. And this is just going to be the description. Once we have all of those set up and we can see our fields, we can click Save Changes. And then we can see we have the label, the name, and the type. So we have 2 select boxes, 2 text fields, and the WYSIWYG editor. For some humane societies, they are going to want to have a separate page that shows cats and a separate page that shows dogs. We can do this using taxonomies. So let's go ahead and set that up. So we are going to add our first taxonomy, and that is going to be pet types. And we're going to have our singular label that will populate here. And then we're going to say which post types this is going to apply to. Because you can have multiple custom post types on a site. We're going to say Adoptable Pet. That's our custom post type. And we're going to click Save Changes. Now over here we can see under Adoptable Pets we have pet types available. We can go ahead and add our cats with a slug of cat. We can add dog, slug of dog, and sometimes we might have something else. We might have other rabbits and other fun pets. So we can add all of our taxonomies there. That's going to make setting up those sub pages so much easier. Now we can see we don't have any adoptable pets, so let's go ahead and add some. We're going to add our first one, which is Buddy. This is going to be a golden retriever, and he's 5 years old. A male, he's available, and we have a description ready to go for him, so we can paste that in. Then we go over to our pet types, and we're going to enter dog, select that and add it, and then we're going to set a featured image. Want to add some alt text, and there we go. We have Buddy ready to go. We can go ahead and click publish. We'll go ahead and add a few more adoptable pets. We are going to go through the same exact process of just adding a new pet and adding that information. I will spare you the boring, poor typing that I have, and I'll be right back. Now we have about 5 pets set up for our test site here. One thing that I wanted to show you is that because we have pets that are both ages 3 months and 2 years and everything in between, we added additional text in here for the age, and then we bolded some information. We can also italicize information within that WYSIWYG editor that gives the person adding the pet a little more freedom and flexibility. So we will update that. Now we will set up a page and bring in all of this information. So we'll set up a page, adoptable pets. And we are going to first set up a container into which we are going to bring a query block. We're going to just start with this 2 columns with the featured image, and we're going to make some modifications to that. So for this query block, we want to make sure that we are using the post query, but we're not going to use posts. We are actually going to be using adoptable pets, and we'll remove that posts. That way, the query block will be bringing in our adoptable pets, and we can make modifications there. So we have our pets. We've got Milo and Rocky, a couple of cats, Sven and Lunabug, and we've got Buddy down here. Because we are using the query example that uses the featured image and the title, we are pulling in post information. We can see this was set up on June 12th, but we want to use the same layout and make some modifications to it. It's pretty easy to do. Let's take a look at the list view and see what we have here. The query block brings in some additional blocks. We're going to bring in our loop item and make modifications to that. We actually don't want the post date, but we kind of like the format of that. We just want to make some modifications and bring in some of the pet information. So if we click on that post date and then we click on our dynamic content, we can actually remove that post date and then go back in and pull in our post meta. So we want to be able to describe the breed. So let's go ahead and insert that. Next, we want to add additional information to that particular block. So we can insert that after the breed. We can pull in more post meta, and let's say we want to say the age of the pet next. Insert that in. And let's say we want to add maybe a comma between those just to separate them. We can do that right here just by clicking edit and add a space. Let's say we would like to add something in after that as well. We could go ahead and copy this, like if we wanted to add the gender, and we know gender is one of our fields, we could copy that and just add gender here by editing it. And then when we go to preview that, it will automatically bring all of that in. We could also, if we wanted to, just do that and pull that in. If we couldn't remember and didn't want to edit that, we could do this and just insert in the gender this way. Just find that meta key, go to gender, and we can insert that dynamic tag. So we have all of that information populated into that text box, and it's pretty easy to edit. You could just do that and add any sorts of information. If you wanted to change the layout on that, very easy to do. Now for the post excerpt, we want to use this space for our description. So same type of thing. We're just going to remove that, and then we can go back in, get our post meta, go to the meta key, and find description. And just use that same formatting to populate it in. And you can see it is pulling in all of the formatting that we had from that WYSIWYG editor. And the same type of thing is happening for our other animals. Now we'd like to add some additional information underneath that description. Very easy to do as well. We can just click Add After here, and let's say we want to put in the status. Let's make sure that we are using the text block. Add that, and then we can type in status, and let's say we wanted to have mixed content here and have some text in front of that status. Just pull in the post meta, and then we can pull in the status there, insert the dynamic tag, and it populates in. If we wanted to add a different color to this, we could go make sure we are on that particular block, head over to our styles, and let's say we wanted to change the typography, we wanted to make the font smaller, or let's just add a color to set that text apart. That looks great. And let's say we want to add something after that. We want to add a button. So we can just find the GenerateBlocks button, and let's go ahead and pull in some dynamic content here. We can pull in the post meta, and actually we want to pull in the post title. We want to pull in the pet's name. We can just do that. And if we wanted to add some text in front of that, like meet the pet, we could do that very easily. And it populates for all of the animals here. So everybody gets meet. And then if we wanted to add a link here, we could do that as well and just add a link to a contact page. Or if we had a dynamic link, we could do that as well. But we're just going to leave it like this for now. And we're going to go ahead and publish this page. And we'll take a look and see what it looks like. So if we view the page, we see we have adoptable pets in our little header here. This is an element. It's actually the page hero area. So that adoptable pets is already there for us, but it's also populating down here with our content. That is a pretty easy fix. And all of our animals, dogs and cats, are listed here. So if we wanted to edit that page, let's say we only want adoptable pets listed once, we can disable elements over here on the page and remove that content title. Click Save, and there you would see that we only had one adoptable pets. If you wanted to remove the element, you could just exclude the element on this particular page. Many humane societies would like to show pages of their dogs versus their cats versus other animals. That is also very easy to do. So let's go back and edit this page. And I am going to go over here to our list view, and I'm just going to copy this container. We're just going to click copy here, and then we are going to go add a new page. Let's add a page, and we're just going to paste that entire container with all of the same information. It's going to pull in all of the post meta. Everything's going to look the same, but we only want dogs on this page, so our cats will be excluded. This is also very easy to do. Just make sure you are on this query block, and then head over to the right sidebar, and we are making sure we're pulling adoptable pets, and we're going to add a parameter. So click Add Parameter, and we are going to add taxonomies. Once we have the taxonomy, we select which taxonomy we are going to choose, and we're going to choose pet types. And we're going to select the term dog only. And I'm going to make one other modification to this page, in that I'm going to make sure that this is a sub page of Adoptable Pets. So we're going to find the original page, and then we are going to make sure that we are going to title this page Adoptable Dogs, and I'm going to change the slug so it only says dogs right there. And then I have to remember that I don't want the content title. I just want to have the title listed within that hero area. So if I go ahead and publish this, then I can view the page. And because I set up the taxonomy, all I see here are the dogs. The other thing I would see is under my pages, if I go to the dashboard and look at pages and view all pages, we see that Adoptable Dogs is a sub-navigation item for Adoptable Pets, and we'll do that on the navigation. First, I'm going to go and edit the Adoptable Dogs, and again, I'm going to take that container, I am going to copy it, and now I'm going to add another page, and this is going to be Adoptable Cats. And again, I'm going to paste that entire container, but I am going to modify this. So once it is in, I'm going to go over to make sure that I am on that query block. Go to Adoptable Pets. We see pet types. We see dog. I'm going to change that and take the term out. And I am going to make sure we are only showing our cats here. And then I'm going to my page, and I want to make sure that the parent page is actually our Adoptable Pets. And I'm going to change this so it just says cat, so everything is consistent. And I'm going to go down and make sure that content title isn't there. Click Publish. And then if I view that page, we see only our adoptable cats that are available. All right, now I want to add this to our menus, which is another very easy step. We just go to menus and we see our new pages here. Click all of those, add to menu, and we see that populates at the bottom. And I am going to move Adoptable Pets up because this is the most important part of our mission. And I'm going to put cats underneath and dogs underneath. Make sure it's a sub item. And then I'm just going to take that adoptable out because it's already in the parent. So I'm going to take that out of the sub items for the navigation label. I'm going to save my menu. Then if I go back to the site, I see my adoptable pets. If I click on that page, I get all of the available pets, cats and dogs, together on one page. Or I can look just at cats. Or I can look just at dogs. It really is that easy. The great thing about setting everything up this way is that when you have new adoptable pets available, they will automatically be populated wherever they're supposed to go. Let's take a look at an example. If we look at our adoptable pets right now, we see that we have 5 pets available. If we look at our adoptable dogs, we see that we have 3 dogs. Now we have a draft dog that is available that we need to add. So we go over to our adoptable pets, we see all of them, and we see we have Sam here. We can take a look at the data here. Sam is a corgi, 2 years old, male, and we've got a great picture over here. This is not yet published, so we go ahead and publish this. It is now available, and if we go to the front end of the site and we visit the site, we go to our adoptable pets, now automatically we see that Sam is available right here at the top. So Sam the corgi, all of the data is available, and we see that Sam is also available on the dogs page as well as that parent page, but not available on the cat page because Sam is a dog. So if we were going to remove one of these dogs, unpublish it, or just delete them, it would automatically be updated on the front end. It makes everything so much easier when you're using custom post types. Everything just works dynamically. Now that we have our page set up, there are other styling options that are available. Because we have this set up with that rescue starter site, there are global styles available to us. So if we go into our list view, expand that out, and look under our query block at the looper loop item, you can see that's where all of our blocks are. So here we actually went in and stylized the status available. Here we put that in a container and applied the global section tagline that is available within that starter site, so that looks a little bit nicer. And then for our button, we actually used the GPB primary button. It's very easy to do this. If we wanted to do that, say, for example, up here on this particular block, we could just go in and find the global style that we would like to use. So if we wanted to also set that up as a tagline, we could do that very easily. You just want to make sure you take off this and confirm that we are not having any competing styles there. So that way we could style things and inherit from that overall global style.